Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another Warframe showcase. I am recording this on Tuesday. This should be out Thursday. So happy Thursday. And we are going to be going over Wukong. I'm going to be using Wukong Prime. This is the most used Warframe in 2025. I think it's been the most used for a while too. So definitely I can see why new players love him. And even in high play he can be very good because of his passive, which we're going to go over soon. And yeah, what we're gonna be doing before we get into it is we're gonna be going over his stats, compare the base to the prime because I am using the prime. We are gonna be talking about his abilities, so I'm gonna showcase them separately, and then we're gonna mod him, and then I'll go into like a live demonstration, show you how it all meshes together, and yeah. So let's get into the stats. So I am using Wukong Prime. This is how he looks like. Well, this is how his prime looks like. This is how I have him customized, and this is what I made a while ago because I bought this skin finally. I made use of the BOGO deal, by the way. Um, and yeah, so comparing regular Wukong to Wukong Prime, we can see, where are you? We can see that his health stays the same at 455. His shields go up a lot from 270 to 345. His armor goes up a little bit from 265 to 290. His energy goes up by 15 from 130 to 145, and he goes down to a no. He goes up from a sprint speed from 1 to 1.05, 1.05, and he's just a little bit faster. Which really doesn't matter because his second ability is a good mobility tool to use. And yeah, so we're going to start with his passives. He has, so whenever he takes fatal damage, and this is what makes him good for new players or people who are going into content that is too hard for them. He has 5 possible abilities to pull from in when he takes fatal damage. First one we're going to be talking about is Primal Forces. Basically, what it does is it triples elemental damage for 60 seconds. He has Heavenly Cloak, which is invincibility for 30 seconds. He has Cosmic Armor, which makes him invulnerable for 30 seconds. He has Monkey's Luck, which drops extra loot for 60 seconds. And he has Slight Alchemy, where orbs are 4 times more effective for 60 seconds. Or you can only trigger this passive 3 times, and you get to pull from one of those 5 things that I mentioned. And um, you don't repeat. Let's say like if I die one time, right? Because I use that passive, I use Primal Forces. I can't trigger Primal Forces again. It'll be something else. It won't repeat other survival techniques that you've already used. But after you use 3 of them, you're gonna go down on the 4th one. You're gonna like die the 4th one. So just keep that in mind. Um, yeah, we'll showcase how that's gonna look like if I get there. But I'll do something hard. See what's up. Okay, going over his first ability. So his first ability is called Celestial Twin, and it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna keep him away from the enemies because you don't want to go attack him. Essentially, split yourself, and there he goes. And basically, how he plays is he's gonna be just like a specter, like an AI. He's not gonna go too far, as you can see. Like he only goes to a certain distance, and he'll teleport back to you. But when you're in the thick of it, he can start engaging with a melee, or if you want to go melee, he'll take out his bow and he'll go fighting. Or let's say like I have my secondaries and I switch to my melee, he'll whip out the secondaries. That's pretty much what he does. If you wanted him to go attack other people, he will do that by himself. But if you wanted specifically a certain target, let's say like, hey, go hit this guy, you'll mark him and he'll deal even more damage to him. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of things you can do with him. if you do have an incarnate, wow, you just collateraled everyone. If you do have incarnate, let's say like I have an incarnate with a bow, and I hit an enemy with it. He's not, and I swap to my melee, or I whip out my melee just to go attack enemies. He's not gonna use your incarnate charges. He's only gonna use the arrows, like the rail arrows. So just keep that in mind. And if you want to get rid of him, all you gotta do is hold down the ability button, and he'll disappear. So it's a good way to get some fire away from you and deal more damage. And then, like I said, if there's a harder enemy you need to take care of, you just point your crosshair at him, hit your fresh ability, and it'll mark him like that, and he'll attack him, dealing greater damage. So yeah, showcasing his second ability, Cloud Walker. This is, like I said, is a movement ability. Essentially, what it does, and it is a stealth ability as well, kind of. You can go up, move around for a certain amount of time. One thing you do need to note is that if, oh my god, I think I'm getting sick. If you are low on health, or if your clone is taking a lot of damage and you need a heal, or both you need a heal, you hit your second, both of you are gonna go up. And when you come down, you're both together. It's a good way to heal. You will heal according to the distance you travel. Another thing to note is that this ability, Cloud Walker, is a good way to bypass lasers without getting hit by anything, without getting procced, without setting off alarms. You just keep that in mind. I mean, obviously, if you come down, you will trigger a camera if you're doing a spy mission, but there are ways to move around. It's a really good ability for healing. It's a good survival ability. It's a good movement ability because you do get a little bit of a speed bonus when you move around. And yeah, really great ability. It's not as potent as it used to be, but still very strong. Okay, going on to the third ability. What is it called, by the way? Just want to see the name. Defy. Okay, so Defy works very fun. So I'm gonna unpause these guys. He's gonna do a lot of damage to me. So what's gonna happen is I'm going to soak up damage. I'm gonna get armor from it. I think I'm gonna get to like 150 armor. And what I'm going to do is dish that damage back out. I believe I can reflect the damage that I have with a 2 times multiplier. So we'll see what's that. This is a good way for getting aggro onto yourself, and 1,500 armor you can get. It's a good way of getting aggro onto yourself, and it's a good way of also dealing a wide area of damage. Really strong ability. So if you're like surrounded, you can just pop that ability, become invulnerable, because you're invulnerable while you cast it for a bit. And oh my god. And obviously the armor decays as you get shot. I don't know if it decays over time either, but I know it obviously bleeds out. It goes away when you are taking damage, but that's pretty much what that ability does. I believe to get the most out of this ability, you're gonna have to mod for duration, and if I'm not mistaken, the damage return multiplier can be increased with strength, but I think it's capped. I think. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to the numbers. I just mod the way I want to mod, and it works. So yeah. And then going on to his fourth ability, which by the way I am missing a certain synergy, but I will show that in the live demonstration. Another thing you can do here is you wanna whip out your exalted staff, which I believe mine is modded for, so I'm gonna take the mods off. Yeah, you see you can mod your staff over here. I'm gonna do this. Pop your fourth. Your fourth ability is obviously a channel ability, and it has its own stance. So this is the neutral combo. This is a combo moving forward. This is the block combo, not moving forward. And this is a moving forward blocking combo. So yeah, that's how that looks. And this is a very strong melee weapon. I love it. Once again, these are level 60 enemies, so we're just gonna see the damage numbers. They each do their own thing. Like, if I were to do this, the blocking combo, it's a good way to stagger enemies, keep them away. And then the neutral combo obviously deals the most damage. Moving forward is just flowing better together. And the blocking forward combo, as you're hitting X and holding your block button and moving forward, it just propels you forward. And he does a legacy ability, which is called Jab, which doesn't do a lot of damage, but I mean, it's a good way to initiate that combo. So yeah, you can mod this out separately, which we're gonna go over here in a bit. And yeah, before we get into the modding, I do just want to say that if I use a Prime mod that you might not have, it's okay. The base mod works just as good. It does the same job, so just keep that in mind. Also, keep your Alpha Barrel Katir. I think he just came last week, so you're gonna see him next week, next Friday. So if check out, he usually brings random Prime mods, random weapons as well. So he's definitely worth checking out if you're a new player. If you see me use a set mods you can get in Deimos, Cetus, Fortuna. So farm them up there. And if I use a corrupted mods are easy to get. All you gotta do is be a part of a clan, make the corrupted hollow keys, and what else? Make corrupted hollow keys and equip one of them. You can go with a squad, you can do it in a group, or you can do it all together. Um, and go farm the Deimos derelict vaults. They will usually have corrupted mods, dual stack mods that you need, um, and they're good. So definitely worth checking out. And let's get into modding. And I am gonna go showcase, like when I go into the showcase, by the way, because I did this last video, I'm going to use the mod setup that we're using. Okay, I'm not gonna go into using my setup because my setup, while I will briefly show it, is only it works for me. It's like my end game build. There's no end game, obviously, right? But it works for me in the late game, and yeah. Okay, so, oop, not that. Wukong Prime. So how would I mod him as a new player? Well, I am going to, because he's gonna be melee based, and I think this aura is gonna help out his fourth ability. I'm gonna put steel charged for the melee damage. And then because he does use a lot of energy, I'm gonna go with Prime Flow. We do want some duration, so we're gonna throw on some continuity. So we're gonna go Prime Continuity. Just to have a little bit of survival. If you have Prime Vigor or if you have regular Vigor, they do the same thing. You can throw this on. If you have regular Vigor, I do think you can just throw on, what is it called? Armored Agility, maybe? But if you're good with that, like I'm gonna be okay with it. It's gonna be good for survival because you get armor from your third ability anyway. So there's that. And then I'm gonna want to go for strength. So throw on some intensify. Um, do I need more strength? Yeah, why not? Throw on some transient fortitude for some additional strength. I do want to bring up the duration a bit because he does need duration for his third ability. Let's throw on some augur message. We could throw on some range. I don't know. I'll throw on a small bit of range. I'm not gonna go too crazy on the range. Where's augur reach? Not augur secrets. I don't want stretch. I think that's too much range. Aha. Okay, throw on some augur reach. This is the set mod that I was talking about. And then we have 16 left. So what else could we throw on there? No, that's a late game mod. Do I have an augment? No, I don't. By the way, for me, mid game is anything before New War, past the Natal quest. Early game is anything before the Natal quest, so just keep that in mind. Mm, I'm trying to figure out what else I can put in the place. I don't want to put anything like super late, something that's like late game. What's this do? Yeah, we'll throw this on. Why not? We'll throw on some Constitution. I think this is a dual stat mod that we can use. Um, is it? I think so. Yeah. We'll just stick with this. We'll do that for. So this is what the stats are gonna be looking like right now. We're pretty good on the duration, pretty good on the strength, a little bit of range. That should help us out. Then we're gonna go mod the staff, which is very important. Um, right now, looking at this, I do have two forma on it, so just keep that in mind. It is a. It can be a hybrid weapon. Honestly, you can mod it for either crit or status, since it's not that big a difference. It is an impact weapon. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put prime pressure points. I'm gonna throw on condition overload just to make use of the statuses. I'm gonna throw on condition overload. You can get. You just have to farm a certain enemy type for it, and it's a rare drop, but you can get it pretty. You can get it pretty like closer towards the mid game. Throw on organ shatter, gladiator mites. Um, where is it at? I freaking have Fuerza Regia in my head right now. And the song is Halo with a J. The song is stuck in my head. Like I've been listening to it in my head while I've been talking about this, and I'm like, ugh, I want to listen to it. um, where's True Steel? Where are you? Oh, it's because I have sacrifice. Oh no, I have it right here. Okay, so I have True Steel. I have critical damage. I'm gonna throw on a status on there. So, hmm. I think I will throw on. No, not that. Honestly, what will happen if I do this? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'll throw this. Throw Prime Fever Strike on. I have 19, so I'm able to use more dual stat mods. So I will throw on. Where are you at? Vicious Frost to get the. Oh no, I'm out of space. Dang. Get a little bit of arrow going on. Maybe I can get rid of this. Hold on, let me check something. Because there's something I want to go for. Um. Corrosive. Hmm. Interesting. But I kind of want to go increase the status on this, so that might not be a bad idea. Gladiator Rush. Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that. No, he has Naramon. It's fine. Um, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna throw on. I'm gonna throw on some code for some toxic, so I can increase the status chance. But what I had in mind, because I didn't think about this, was throwing this on and adding another status mod to increase the status chance, so we'd have a good hybrid of status and crit. But this is what we're gonna use. And we're gonna take it out on a run. And as far as what I'm gonna be running with, I'm gonna be using the Paris Prime, obviously. I'm gonna be using the Axomari Prime, and I'm gonna be using the Bow Prime, which the Bow Prime, because of its incarnate, I grew to really love, and it just feels good on Wukong. And then because I'm gonna be running Naramon for my school, so I don't have to worry much about um combo counter and stuff. So yeah. And for companion, I am going to be taking Shade to help me out should I get caught in a bad spot. And are we ready to go? I'll show you my loadout real quick. What the hell? What the hell? That's weird. Okay, so essentially, this is what I run with on mine. I run Umbro Fiber, Umbro Intensify, Umbro Vitality. I run Flow, Continuity for the duration and energy. I run Amar's Hatred for the strength, Secrets for the strength, and a little bit of Reach for a little bit of strength. And those are what my numbers look like, along with these arcanes. So, yeah. Oh my god, I'm getting confused. I forgot how to play Warframe for a bit. Oh my god. There you go. And yeah, we are going to go into a mission. We'll start it from the relay. Okay. Where do we want to go? It's an interesting question. I'm feeling the void. We'll do an exterminate. Yeah, I'm down. Let me make it friends only. We'll do that. Why not? And by the way, in this part of the video is where I usually start yapping, but because I know I missed out a lot on showcasing the synergies, I'm probably going to be talking about that. So, yeah, if I go on a tangent, I mean, let's use it as a way to get to know me. Why am I invisible? Well, that enemy steps by. Alright, so Wukong is a stealth frame in his own way. That's what his original concept was when they made him in the game. Oh god. I remember when he used to be bad. I remember not touching him till I reworked him. Bro. One thing you can do, because I am going to be taking out the character. Usually what you would do is as soon as you get in, just call in your celestial twin. It'll help you out. And keep going. So one thing you both can do, and I'm gonna wait to find like a huge group to do it, but if you cast your Defy with your celestial twin, he will do it as well. So you can cover a huge area and that kind of damage. That song is so stuck in my head, by the way. Oh my god, I missed. Not that time. And essentially, you can get more armor faster. Like I said, it's capped out at 1,500 armor. And you have it for a bit. And then... and yeah, when you take out your fourth ability is what you both pull out stats. So like, this is a good area. We're both doing it. We're both grabbing attention. Oh yeah, I'm done. Another thing you can do with the clone that I didn't mention is if you just want him to run with another ranged weapon, what you can do is you can not equip Wukong with a melee weapon, which I see a lot of people do, and you can have him stick to just using your primary or your secondary, and yeah. Did I? No, okay. What else? This is gonna be coming out on Thursday because, like I said, I don't know if I said this last week, but Tuesdays I'm gonna be covering the weekly update for Battlefield. But because I freaking woke up late and didn't make it to work, I suddenly have a day off, and I decided to do all the recording today. So, yeah. But by the time y'all see this, it's not gonna matter. So, yeah. Let's test out the staff that we have worked on here. Okay, well, Shade got him, but yeah.
You have broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Yeah, the armor does it. So you have 1500 armor, but it decays with time. So once that timer runs out, did I miss? No. Okay, we got him. You just have to recast it, and it's a good way to, like I said, draw aggro to yourself and deal a lot of damage in the white area. So yeah. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Wukong is a really fun frame. He has a good kit, a lot of synergies. Very fun to play, very survivable. Like I don't want to say it's impossible to die as him, but it's really hard to really like die with him. And yeah, consider checking him out. If you want to pick him up, he should be free to research in the clan dojo. You got to go to your channel lab. And yeah, with that being said, if you made it this far, you liked the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Wukong. And we are trying to get to 100 subscribers by summer, so I would definitely appreciate the subscribe if you are interested into more Warframe content and more content in general. I don't just stream I don't stream. Oh god, I wish I streamed. I don't just play Warframe. I play other games. Like right now, I'm playing Helldivers. I'm playing a lot of Overwatch. I'm playing the first Descendant. I'm playing what else am I playing? Um, War Thunder, which I know I haven't uploaded a War Thunder video in a while, but I have been playing it and I want to like do that. I think I might do that today though. Might have a another video coming up, so might be doing that soon after the Battlefield recording, and then yeah, see what's up. Um, hope you've been enjoying the content. I know we're almost done with the showcase. This is just a project that I've been wanting to do for new players or people who are picking up a Warframe that they're not familiar with, and yeah, this is all for that. Now we're almost done. I'm gonna figure out what we gotta do for something else for Warframe because I have a lot of knowledge. I've been playing since 2016. I am pride myself in the fact that I've learned this game on my own without having to rely on the wiki, which has been hard. And I have a lot of knowledge that I want to pass down to people who are new to the game, people who are picking up a Warframe for the first time, which is why I'm doing the Warframe showcase, and plenty of other stuff. So, yeah, with that being said, hope you all have a good day. I will catch you all next week. Peace.
Mission.